my mom didn't want me to be a scared little bitch. Um, and she made me get on a roller coaster when I was little. I was scared of. I was a scared kid. Naturally, I was a scared little kid. Like I wouldn't want to would see friends like jumping off diving boards and all this stuff, jumping into pools. I was scared of water, and my mom was basically just fed up with all that shit. And we were at a theme park at Six Flags, and I didn't want to get on any of the roller coasters. And she was like, "Fuck this! Your ass is not gonna be a scared little bitch. You're getting on the roller coaster." And she literally grabbed my hand. She took me up to the roller coaster, and she was terrified. Years later down the line when she told me the story, and she made me get on this roller coaster. I'll never forget it. After I got off this roller coaster, I was a different person, and I still remember it to this day. She broke a limit in my mind. I was like, whoa, that was actually so much fun. That was like exhilarating. Holy shit. Like, I was a brand new person because my mom gave me a new experience, and I became somebody new through that new experience. And that's the principle that I'm talking about right now in this video. But I literally became a different person. I was now like I actually became like way more um like gravitated towards things like adrenaline junkie things, right? Like now, like I'm grown up and I'll do gainers off of like 30-foot, you know, cliffs. Like I've done that, it's crazy. And so I think like that event had so much impact on the rest of my life. Like it was maybe one of the smallest events that had the biggest impact in my life. And that is a story of self improvement versus self acceptance, right? My mom said, not a chance. Like the world, you will not be better off for the world or for yourself being scared of doing new things. And therefore, she allowed me to become who I could actually be through by giving me a new experience, right? Because we live in this predicament, right? Like I'm perfect the way I am. I'm good. I'm perfect. But at the same time, like you're always self-improving. But by self-improving, does that mean that by definition you don't accept yourself? I think the key is because the right path is the path of authenticity. Like who is your most authentic self? And that's a question that can only be answered through your experiences and what you put yourself in front of, because it's really the experiences that actually shape you and who you are in life. And it's not just the experiences, but it's also the meaning that you give to those experiences. Because two brothers had the same alcoholic father. One brother became successful and started charities, and the other brother became an alcoholic like his dad. They asked both of them, hey, what contributed to your success? What contributed to your failure? Like, why you like this? Well, my dad was an alcoholic, right? And so it's not just the experience that you grow up with, but it's also the meaning that you give those things. And so as we're on this path to find ourselves, our most authentic self, it's a constant balance of self-acceptance versus self-improvement. And maybe it's not a battle, but it's more of a cycle. Like, who else can you become? Right? What else can I become? Because if you just live the same day like so many people do over and over and over again, they live the same life every single day, then they don't get a chance to become the person that they could really be, their true authentic self. How many people do you actually think are actually living truly their most authentic life that actually belongs to them. My guess is like 5% of people are doing that. And even in those 5%, it's because they continuously ask themselves, am I in alignment with who I am? What is the next evolution? What is the next? And truly, as human beings, it's never about arriving to that. It's about the continuous path. Because, and I heard this beautifully on a podcast the other day, it's like God is going to present you with the person that you could have become whenever you go to heaven. And when you shake their hand, is it like, how similar is that person going to be to who you were when you died? Is that person going to be like, God's going to tell you, this is who you could have become if you would actually like followed what it said. This is who you could have been. But you were scared. You held back. You hesitated. Right? You didn't have enough faith. You gave yourself the excuse, well, this is just who I am. I'm just accepting myself. And so, acceptance can very much be hand on hand with settling. Right? There's a certain essence of us that you always have to find who you are, your nature, your way of doing something. Nobody else can teach you that. You have to find it. But in order for you to become who you can actually be, it's experiences that you put yourself through that will allow you to become who you want to be, who you need to be, to fulfill on the mission that you were put on here on earth to do. Because we all have that mission. We all have our own unique gifts. And in order to be able to share our gifts, we have to discover what they are. And most people never even get to that stage. Most people never even get to discover their gifts when it's right in front of them in plain sight. But it's just one experience that they need to help them unlock it. And just imagine that. Like, just imagine how many people die looking back and saying, I didn't live my life. I lived it for somebody else. It's a sad, sad story. And so, this whole industry of personal development has caused a bit of anxiety because, I could always improve. I could always improve. And you can. You can. But keep in mind that the industry of personal development thrives on you thinking that. Thrives on you believing that you can always improve. Thrives on you thinking that you are not good enough. If you know, and your body will tell you, your subconscious mind will tell you if you're out of alignment. If there's no satisfaction every single day when you finish your day, here we go again another day, that's probably a sign of unalignment. But if you wake up the next day and you're like, wow, I'm excited for today. I'm excited for the challenges ahead, then you're probably in alignment. If you wake up and you don't have energy, it's kind of a drag, or you even feel anxiety, like it's just how the rest of my life is going to look like, how I would feel that. I would feel this anxiety, like, oh my God, this can't be my life. How much longer are you going to settle for it? Because you are actually lying to yourself by saying, this is just who I am. This is just how my life came to be. And it's a matter of like being at the cause of your existence, right? And not being an effect. Not letting your existence be an effect of your circumstances. And that's ultimately biblical. All creation starts from intention. Just like God created the heaven, the earth, and us humans, that he made in his image and likeness. As creators, the first thing in the Bible says God created. God created, right? God is creative and we're made in his image and likeness. So we're meant to create. We're meant to lead with intention. And ultimately, that's our mission, to create what God gave us with his unique creativity. We possess those unique gifts to go and create and serve others at the highest level. So take that and use it. I love you. Peace be with you, my friend. Talk to you next week. Cheers.